Hey Music Maker, hope you're having a great day, and on today's quick production tip, we're going to make a beat in Logic Pro X. We're actually going to do it in 3 different ways because there's so many different ways to use Logic to create music, and that's why I love using the DAW so much. But we're going to do it with simply dragging and dropping samples in. We're going to do it with the drummer. We're also going to do it in my personal favorite way, using Logic's Drum Machine Designer to drag samples and play them with a MIDI controller. Before we do that, if you're searching out this video, there's a good chance that you are producing from home, and if so, I've got something for you. If you're wanting to be able to record your vocals like a pro, then click the link below and you'll get free instant access to the module out of the Logic Pro X for Artists and Songwriters course, Record Your Vocals Like a Pro. In this module, we'll talk about how to record and edit your vocals like a pro, and it will definitely help you on your music journey as you are recording and producing from home to get the best sounding vocals you can. So, click the link below, grab that, and let's hop into Logic so I can show you how to create some beats and you can start doing it in your productions today. Okay, so now that we're here in Logic, let's make some beats, and it's really simple to do it. First way I want to do it is just by using the built-in MIDI instruments that are in Logic. So when we have our new blank instrument track here, just hit the letter Y to open library. So let's just search out kick. Let's see what pops up. Lots of stuff. Hi-hats, I don't know why those show up in kicks. So that's like a regular. Let's get like a. Okay, cool. So we've selected it, MIDI controller here. So I'm just going to play something and then we're going to build a beat around this kick pattern. Real simple. Okay, simple as can be. So close that. Let's open up the editor down here, quantize. Just click Q, quantize. Now we'll play back what we've got. Cool. So now the same thing. Let's open up, let's just duplicate that one. And then let's go open up the library here. Let's do a clap. Cool. Let's try that. Okay, so that's in there. So now let's quantize these. So I will say that the key to building beats in percussion in general is going to come through the layering. So we can actually layer in a few different ways. We could just play this clap again, or we'll just duplicate the track. Let's Control C, Control V, put it down there. Okay, and now let's solo this to hear what we got. Got that kind of a short attack snare. Let's see how these blend together. Okay, so let's try again. Let's add some hi-hats here. So let's see what kind of hats we've got. This is just the way to do it, number 1, and it's kind of like building it manually. The thing that's cool with Logic with this Q sampler is that basically wherever you hit the hi-hat on the keyboard, it has different timbres, so we can do a lot of cool dipping effects that we'll kind of demonstrate here. So I'm just going to play a straight hi-hat pattern through, and then we're going to come back and we'll start messing with it in the editor. Okay, so let's come down here. I kind of want to just quantize this, but then we can really easily and pretty cool do some like triplets and rolls. So this one here, all I have to do is just start cutting it up. And when we cut it up, we can mess around with the pitch as well. So quantize this. So let's just hear it straight. Cool. So now let's just for the fun of it, let's do a hold Option and an up. So it goes up a half. And then let's move this over. So let's put this one down so it's just a little more interesting. Okay, and then the same thing here is I'm just going to cut this so that I already have that roll kind of built in. Could have just done it again, but this is a little quicker. So then let's just add an additional one here. Expand this a little bit. And we could do like a super quick one. Let's just cut it up a bunch and see what happens. The thing that's fun with quantization is that you can kind of let it do a little bit of its own thing. So I'll put this on probably 30-second notes. That way it moves it even quicker. We'll check it out. Super simple there. So then I'm going to mess with the pitch a little bit. This is no real rhyme or reason. I'm just deciding to move these around. I'm going to try to quantize at 64th so they don't sit on top of each other. Okay, let's try this out. So now all together. Okay, and then we can join this region. So one thing I want to do is give it a little bit of tonal quality, stack a kick here, and see what we can do with like an 808. I think Logic has some really cool 808s built in. Let's just go here in the library and see what we've got. Yep. So these are super low, so let's push them up. So in the 808, what's great about using the Logic built-in 808 is that it's literally just whatever note is sitting here on the key. So let's move some of these around so there's a little bit of extra movement. Let's put this one the octave up. Right here I want it to hit again before it goes up. Let's try this. Okay, so then I'll cut this in half again so we don't have to do that work. Okay, so cut this. Join these regions. Make sure they're sounding good. So let's play these all together with everything on solo. Cool. So as you can see, in just a couple minutes, we've already kind of built out a beat in Logic that you could definitely build something around. So on to way number 2 is totally different, and this might be for a different style of music in general, but we can use the drummer in Logic to quickly build beats that you can write music to or anything really. So I'm just going to pull this up, and instead of pulling up an instrument, we're going to pull up drummer. Open this instance of drummer. So it's super simple. I'm going to go ahead and mute what we've done here already. Copy them all and mute. So obviously this is going to be like a full drum set sound, but we can quickly get a great sounding beat to work with just a few simple controls. So it's already synced to the tempo. If you go over here to the library, there's all these different actual drummer algorithms built in, these different players that have different kind of sounds. We'll just stick with our friend Kyle, the first one for now, and we'll just kind of play around with what you can do here. So let's go tom beat. Kind of like a straightforward rock beat. So like another kind of rock beat. Like halftime thing. So I kind of like this beat. So then when we've got that going on, you see this menu here where we have all kinds of controls, and this will control how intense the hits are and then also how intense the part is. So I'll move it around, you kind of hear this. When you put it all the way down here, it's going to be the simplest, quietest part. Even goes to rim knock. So this might be more complex but still quiet. And this will be the most complex but quiet. So you want kind of a middle beat. Here, dynamic shift. And we'll go to the less intense. Which is really cool because you can use these anywhere you want in your song, and you can change the dynamics depending on which section you're in. So say we'll call this the intro section where it's heavier or bigger, or louder, and then we'll create another section of drummer, but then you can individually manipulate each section, but all within the same playing. So, and also, if we want to take the kick away, deselect it. Just hi-hat. Tom beat with cymbals and snare. So let's kind of do more of a straight beat. And then you can add percussion in, tambourine. You can control how complex or rapid it to be. Super simple. Same thing with shaker. And then claps. Then this will just affect the tom pattern, which is really cool. Actually, you can see it's super versatile. Down here is just the relationship between the kick and the snare. You can set all kinds of parameters here, and then up here, this shows how much fill it's going to add. So if you turn it down, there's no fill. All the way up, it's a lot of fills. You can adjust the swing, which you can hear a massive difference right away. So in just 2 seconds, we already have a beat to work with, and you could write to that easily. And that's the second way you can build a beat in Logic Pro X. And then the last way, we're going to use the Drum Machine Designer plugin. So create a new instrument, and this will just be a software instrument. And then you go to the instrument tab on your channel strip, and then go almost all the way down, and then you have Drum Machine Designer. And this is basically Logic's built-in sampler. And as you can see, all these pads are blank. So what you do is if you have a third-party sample, or if you want to grab one of the samples in the sample library in Logic, you can drag them in and then play them. As I'm hitting the C key here, it's triggering those pads. So I have a bunch of pre-made kits that I use all the time. So I'm going to bring up one of those, my Epic War Kit. Most of the samples, I think actually all the samples are from that sound that I've just dragged in. So I'll kind of show you what this looks like. So as you can see, I've got all these samples kind of built in here. Go back to the first window. I've got multiple kicks, all kinds of snares. So just like kind of with the first method, all I need to do now is kind of play through this part. So the thing that's cool about this is you can play multiple keys. When we're doing it the other way, you could kind of only do like one drum at a time. But by using the sampler, you can kind of play all of it at once. So quantize. I want the extra kick there. So make sure that we are back at 8th note, and then quantize 8th notes. And we can do the exact same way we did before, but I kind of wanted to show you by hitting the letter O, it's going to open up Logic's sample window. And so now this is where all of these samples are stored within Logic. Now you can have your own samples that you bring in, or you could use Logic samples. So for this exercise, we'll do that. So let's just type in hi-hat, and we'll see what kind of loops come up here. All these different loops. I mean, tons and tons of loops. And since they're within Logic, let's try, I kind of feel like, see if we have like a trap. Cool. So now we can pull this right in, and because it's within Logic already, it's going to sync to our tempo. So let's try something else. Tambo. So this actually will pull up like a drummer plugin. Kind of looking for some halftime. And there's tons and tons of samples. Actually, let's do that. That'll be fun. So let's drop in this, and you can totally customize these samples as well. You cut them up however you want, and you could drag them directly into the Drum Machine Designer and actually play them. We can cover that in another video. If you want to see that, comment below so we can create samples and play them in Drum Machine Designer. So now let's hear this with the hand drums. And of course, we can there's tons of chord stuff too. So we can just type in Epic and let's see what pops up. So there's probably gonna be all kinds of instruments. Just because it was literally the first thing. And with Logic, you can easily change how all the tones and things, but let's just play it all together. See, and I don't know if that works or not, but there's hundreds, probably thousands of loops within Logic. In just a couple minutes, we've made beats 3 different ways in Logic, all super simple and quick. Which way is your favorite? Comment below. Do you want to do it with using the MIDI instruments and playing one note at a time? Do you like to use drummer? Do you like to use the sampler with the Drum Machine Designer, or do you do it a different way? Let me know below. Comment below which way you like the best. But that's how you can create beats quickly and efficiently in Logic Pro X. So that's it. 3 ways to create beats in Logic Pro X. Really fast, really creative, really inspiring. You could definitely be doing this and adding this in your productions today. You could layer things in quickly. You can build and be really creative. And then you can start adding the tonal elements to create really interesting and customized music all off of pre-made beats that are all within Logic. Now there's lots of other services like Splice where you can get loops, and like I said, I like to use that sound drum samples, and that's those sounds that I used in the Drum Machine Designer section of the video. But you can literally find sounds from anywhere, and in Drum Machine Designer you can actually record sounds directly into it and sample your own things and do that. So if you want to see that video, comment below and let me know. Don't forget to click the link below, get Record Your Vocals for free so you can start recording the best sounding vocals you ever have in your home studio. Like and subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any future videos. Now go make some music, and we'll see you in the next video.